Hey crafty people, welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Welcome back. It is time for another Mass Make Monday, and in case you're new to my channel, what I do is I set a timer for 45 minutes and see how many of a particular item I can make in that time. So today's video is inspired by a recent video I saw by Julie at Camellia Crafts Designs. She had a bunch of inexpensive, flimsy, craft colored envelopes that she wanted to use up, and she basically sealed the envelope and created pockets and used just the envelope as the base for the pocket. Now, I don't have those types of envelopes, but I got a ridiculous amount of junk mail envelopes that I have been saving or hoarding, you know, whichever. So I thought I could do a variation on what she created using my junk mail envelopes. Now, these envelopes, I've already gone ahead and trimmed up the edge to make it nice and neat. And so now we're gonna start the timer, and I'm gonna explain to you and show you what we're gonna do with these. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start our timer and we'll get started. And there's a good chance we're gonna have to take a pause because my dogs are out in the yard, and so eventually they're gonna want in. So what I've pulled out is I've got some book page and some Amazon packaging, and I also have a couple digitals that I wanna use to cover my envelopes just as a starting point. And then I've got a bunch of scrapbook papers, because they're a little heavier, that I'm going to use to create the pockets. So let's start by covering all of our bases. And these envelopes, in case you're wondering, are about 4 inches wide. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4 inches wide. And they're all about 9.5 inches tall. So we're definitely going to have to do some trimming for them to fit into our journals. And I probably should have cut off a piece of this Amazon packaging, since it's like a huge sheet of packaging. Yeah, should have cut that off before I started the video. You know. And there they go. Oi. Alright, so I'm just going to take an envelope. I'm going to grab my art glitter glue. You, of course, could use whatever glue you like, and this is a good place to use glue stick if you like glue stick. I do not get along with glue stick, so I do not use glue stick. So I'm just going to cover the whole thing up and add my paper. And I'm gonna turn this sideways so I can actually see what I am doing and stay on camera. Craziness, I know. So I'm just gonna cover the whole envelope with my cardstock, my packaging paper. And let's go ahead and trim this down a little bit so I can use the rest of this page to cover another envelope. Getting to the point where I really need to refill my art glitter glue, and I just keep forgetting to do it. It's not empty yet, but it's getting to the point where it's harder and harder to squeeze the bottle. All right, so let's, ooh, not that way. You know what, it's okay because these are gonna be covered with pockets, so if they're not perfectly covered, it's not that big of a deal. All right, I need another piece of the Amazon packaging. All right, let's cover a couple more of these with the Amazon packaging, and then we'll move on to some book page and some digitals. So if you watched last week's Mass Make Monday, you know I was planning on going out furniture shopping Memorial Day weekend, which I have done, and I have ordered all of my new furniture. and I've got it scheduled for delivery because I believe I mentioned, but my plan is I've actually got, there's a company here in Central Florida called College Hunks Haul and Junk, and they will come and haul away your junk. So they're gonna come and haul away my old couch and my old TV stand, and they're gonna take my master bed, like the bed in my I can talk, really I can. They're gonna take my bed and one of the dressers from my master bedroom. And haul those away. Now, if they can be donated, they will donate them to charities, but I don't think the quality of my stuff's good enough to actually be donated. All right, let's do, this is a digital buy. I'm having a brain freeze right now because it's either Digital Attic Studio or My Porch Prints, because I have a couple of digitals that do like neutral lacy backgrounds. And I cannot, off the top of my head, recall which one it is right now. And I think so that I can get 2 out of this page. Actually, I could get 2 if I went this way, because they're 4 inches. Duh. And the page is 8.5 wide. So I can actually do that and cover the whole thing. All right. I'm gonna do that one. And this one, and this one's a Liana Scraps. I know that one, that for sure. And I'll leave a list of any digitals, the digitals I've used on these projects down below, in case you're interested. Now, if you don't have digitals, you don't have to use digitals to to serve as your base cover for the envelopes. I just decided I wanted to have a variety of options for what I covered my bases with. You could just do all Amazon packaging. You could do scrapbook paper if you've got a ton of scrapbook paper you want to use up. You could use digitals, or I've got, some old book page. You could do that too. Whatever you like will work for this project. So, as I was saying, I went and I picked out, and I had done research online before going to the store because I didn't want to spend forever there shopping. So I had an idea what I wanted to get, and I ordered a new reclining leather love seat this time around. I figured, all right, moving on. So I've got some antique ledger. It's from 1883, and I'm just going to use that on this one. I'm trying to decide. I think I can live with that. We'll glue this on. Yes, with the dogs, they're up on the furniture all the time, and I have learned that fabric furniture and dog hair do not get along well. I have one couch in the other room. Ooh, that is not great. That is so thin, you can see the logo through that. What I think I'm gonna do is flip it over, and we'll use this side. And so let's reapply our glue. I'm glad I managed to get that off before it was stuck down all the way. And I'm gonna glue this flap over here so that we have a nice plain background. But yeah, so I have one couch, and it takes me, when I have a holiday party every year and I have friends over, I give the couch a good cleaning, and I have, I keep covers on as much of the couch as I can because the dogs lay on it and roll around and knock. Like, I've tried just regular covers for my couch and found that what ends up happening is the dogs just roll them up and use them like pillows. I'm just trying to make sure that this is thick enough that it's not gonna show through, like that the logoing's not gonna show through, and it is. So let's flip this over. I'm not as worried about that little bit that's there showing through. So let's tear these apart. So yeah, I'm not keen on fabric furniture because it takes me a good hour to clean the one couch, and even then it's not like completely clean. It still has hair on it, and it's, you know, as clean as I can get it after, you know, I vacuum it and then I use a lint brush and lint roller on it, and then I use like the Resolve cleaner on it, and it's still not as clean as I would like. But it's way better than it was. So yeah, I don't do let's see, that piece is not big enough. Let's see if this one will be big enough. It will, and I'm not worried about the fact that they're not long enough, because again, what we're going to end up doing is adding pockets to this, so any bit that doesn't get covered can be underneath our pockets. So yeah, so I'm a leather couch person because it's so much easier to deal with the puppy dogs than a fabric couch. So I ordered a new leather recliner because I decided I didn't need a full-size couch in this room anymore because, well, it's pretty much just me sitting on the couch in here. All right, let's go ahead and start trimming everything up so that we can move on to the next step. And I had scissors here a second ago. They're there. So I downsized to a love seat, which should provide more space for, well, craft supply storage, because this is furniture going in this room, which is my craft/TV room. I ordered a new TV stand, which actually, because it's a less expensive item, they ship it via UPS instead of delivery, and so I've got it sitting in a box that's already arrived waiting for me to assemble, but I don't want to assemble until all of the rest of the furniture is in place because, well, I have nowhere to put it since I have to have the old TV stand hauled away. And I'm planning on redoing the flooring in this room, which I still have to go out and get the flooring. I did not get that Memorial Day weekend because there wasn't a sale on that was limited to Memorial Day weekend. Oh, and I got dogs barking, so I think we are going to pause this and I'm going to bring them in. All right, I'm back. Let's start that up again. So I ordered the couch, the TV stand. I ordered a new bed, which, again, another downsizing. Bought the master bedroom when my ex-husband and I were still together, so it's very old at this point. And we got a king, and I do not need a king-size bed for me and the dogs. We do not need a king. So I've downsized that to a queen-size bed, so I'll have a little bit more space in my bedroom. I'm a little concerned because I also got a new dresser, because one of the two dressers I have in my master bedroom, all of the drawer stops have broken on all of the drawers. So they kind of pull out and like bang against the bars underneath kind of thing. And so it's one of those, I've been needing to get a new dresser. So I got, they're going to be so annoying. now that the dogs have stopped barking, I can turn the sound back on this video. So I got a new dresser, and it's smaller than the dresser I currently have. Like, the dresser I currently have has 8 drawers, and it only has 6. So I have been, like, going through the stuff that's in the drawers, trying to cull some of it. One of the things in those drawers is I have an entire drawer, just about, full of beautiful scarves that I never wear because, quite frankly, my neck is too short for me to actually wear scarves and have them look good on me. And yet I keep buying them. So I think some of them may work their way into my craft space and be used to make journal covers because they are gorgeous. I love them, but I just never wear them. So they just basically sit in a drawer. So yeah, that might be something coming up. I may end up taking a few of those scarves and turning them into journal covers. A few of them I will probably keep. Like, I have a scarf in the collection of scarves I have that I bought when I went to Germany with my high school German club back when I was in high school. So it's very old and it's lovely, and so I don't know that I'm going to be able to cut into that. And I also have a few scarves that my mother actually made back in the 90s. She demonstrated craft products for plaid. And so one of the products she decorated was for painting on silk. And so in addition to the paints, they also sold like silk scarves that you could do the painting techniques on. And so I have several of the silk scarves she did either as practice pieces to get the technique down before doing the demos or for the demonstrations. And so I don't know if I'm going to be able to part with those either. I think the problem is it's that time of evening that people are out walking their dogs. I normally do this during my lunch hour, but I was busy at work until about lunchtime and didn't have everything ready in order to be able to film during my lunch hour, since with a 45-minute timer, I pretty much have to have everything together in order to get it all done during my lunch hour. So I'm filming it this evening because, again, since I usually start the video and just let it run, it takes a while to upload. So yeah, if it keeps going silent, that's because the dogs have gone crazy and I've cut out the sound when I edited this video. Also probably edited out me yelling at the dogs, because that happens too. Alright, we are almost done with the fun and exciting creating of bases part of this. Just be careful when you're trimming out that you don't cut through your envelopes. So, yeah, bought a new dresser, bought the new bed, and it wasn't actually the one I was originally planning on getting, but when I got into the showroom and looked at the one I was looking at, decided I liked the one that I ended up ordering better because it's a little bit of a lighter, like gray wood bed with, it's got, you know, under the bed storage. It's got like 6 drawers, 2 on each side, like at the 2 on the sides and then 2 at the foot of the bed. All right, so next step is we're going to put pockets on these, but because these are too tall, now comes the time where we can vary things and make some decisions as to what we want to do. So for this one, we can cut it, where's my little guillotine, basically in half-ish, which would be where, since measure-wise, that's going to be like 4.5, and this sucker only goes up to about 4. So if I just put like a little bit of crease in. So we now have 2 pockets that are about, let's see, what are they? About 4.5 inches tall. And then we can add our scrapbook paper pockets on. Now these I've had in this scrapbook paper I've had in my stash for ages. We can also make a decision now as to whether we want to seal this up completely, which is one option. Seal it up on the side so that we just have a top pocket. Leave the whole thing open so you've got a big side tuck for over here. Or seal the top and have just a side tuck pocket for use of the envelope. And I think I'm gonna, for this one, leave it completely open. So I'm gonna go back here and glue this shut. And then I'm also gonna add a pocket on here. And again, you can decide how big you want your pocket to be. And actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it over so that I can make marks and see them more easily. I'm just gonna, instead of measuring, mark off where I want to cut. Let's scoot that over so I can see there. And we're gonna trim off and trim off. And then I am gonna grab, I forgot to do this, corner round to add a notch at the top. And not a corner round, a circle punch. So I've grabbed, this is 1.5 inches. And I'm just gonna put a little notch in there. I'm also gonna ink, and since this one's got yellows in it, I'm gonna, I cut that straight. Yes, okay, it just looks wonky. I'm gonna use some yellow, ink around all my edges, and glue this on. Just making sure I am aware of where my opening is and where I want my opening to be so that I put my pocket in the right spot. So I'm gonna glue down the sides and across the bottom. And when I'm gluing things like this, I always put my finger where I don't want to put glue, so it helps me remember where not to glue. So there we go. We've got a pocket, and because we left this open, we got a big old tuck spot over here. So I'm gonna set that one aside, and let's grab the next one. Oh, why not finish up the other half of this guy? And I'm gonna go with something different for this one. Now, where's our opening? Our opening on this one is on the opposite side. So this would go presumably on a page like this where the opening's over here, which that probably doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense what I just said. But if your page is folded in half, like so, you're more likely going to put it on this side so that you're not trying to stuff stuff in the pocket where it's sewn into the signature, whereas this one would go on this side of the page so that you have easier access to the side tuck. All right, so again, I'm gonna go and do some gluing along the back of the envelope just to make sure it's all nice and together and we don't have issues with it causing problems. Let's find something lovely to go on here. I think I like that one, but I think this one might work. Yeah, I think that'll work. And this is a piece from that 6x6 pad that I'm planning on doing a junk journal. Oh, no, you know what? I'm not putting it on this one because this is supposed to go in my junk journal where I don't use any digitals, and this is digital. Glad I started explaining where that paper is from and for before I actually did any gluing, because I would have been annoyed with myself had I glued that down. All right, let's use this. And Julie did like big, tall pockets on the thing. I like leaving a little bit more showing at the top. So I think I'm going to do a shorter pocket here. She also left, I think, a little bit around the edges. I think I'm just going to go to the end. And let's mark down here. So let's trim this down. And this sucker just fits in my little trimmer. And I think I actually marked where I wanted to cut and cut that off. Because I'm not seeing, oh, there it is, there it is. It's just not showing up very well for a second there. So where are we open? Where are we open? I know we are open. There we are. Okay, so we go like that. Notch. I know I'm being wild and crazy here and not using anything to line up my center. And I'm just going to use, this has got Victorian Velvet Distress ink on it. And I just like inking the notch because it makes it stand out more. And so we're going to stick our finger there where we are not gluing. It helps having the notch to remind me of where not to glue. Add glue on our edges. And stick that down. I'm trying to decide which side has it. Let's shift it over this way because I did not cut that as precisely as I wanted to, but I noticed did not trim up around the envelope as precisely as I could have. So there we go. Make sure I didn't slice open the envelope. I did not. Go me. So there we go. Another pocket. Let's do one of our Amazon packaging ones. And for this one, I think what I'm going to do is, oof, made a mess trimming that one up. Again, figuring out round about where the middle is. So like that. Trim that off. And what I think I want to do for this one is actually do a multi-layered pocket. So let's figure out what paper we're going to use with this one. You know what'll work is that, no, not that one. I'm like looking at the papers I've pulled out and I'm like, did I not pull out enough scrapbook papers that I like for doing this? Let's see. What I'm going to do is a pocket like that. We're going to glue this on, and then I want a bigger piece to cover more of that. So let's go to the full-size pages, and hopefully this will make sense in a minute. Slide enough. It is if we switch. All right. Because what I can do is it's not quite wide enough, but I can always do a little trimming up. If we attach it on the side, we can always trim down this side to make it work. And I really should have done a better job applying my base papers. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to attach this strip across here, mark it off, trim it down. Put in our notch. Ink. This is not vintage photo. This is vintage. I'm like, that is looking red because that's the dark red dauber. It's got like aged mahogany on it, I think. All right. So we are going to put this up here so it covers up any bits that didn't get covered too well. So we're going to go ahead and add our glue down the sides. Stick this on about there. I'm also going to use this to help me line up and do a little divot in the top of our envelope. And I went through both layers so I don't have to worry about the inside of the envelope showing because I'm not sure. I wasn't sure if it was white inside or if it had one of those security patterns in it. And I'm gonna seal up the side of this one. And then we're gonna take this guy, and again, I'm gonna use this so that I can line up all of my divots. And yeah, we're gonna do a divot all the way through, which should work out all right, because it's gonna go like that. And then we're gonna add this paper like so, doing a tall-ish pocket. And what's gonna end up happening is I think we're gonna end up using the paper trimmer to trim this down and then resealing our edges, because yeah, it's just a hair short of wide enough. And again, to make sure my divots are all in the right place, I'm gonna line that up on that side. Basically, I'm going down to where I cut the last one and then doing that. I'm gonna ink that because the sides can be inked afterwards. Where the divots are, not so much. Once we glue stuff down, it's a little harder to ink them. So that's why I'm futzing with inking that, but not the whole thing round. All right, so let's go ahead and glue this on. And let's see, about where am I going? I'm going about there. So let's put glue here and across here. And along here. Just so I don't have a ton of extra glue everywhere. That's gonna glue down like that. This guy's gonna glue on the front. And it's a pocket, so we don't want to glue the whole thing. Oy. And this is why I don't craft at the end of a work day, because my brain tends to be fried and I do silly things like that. All right, we're gonna glue down one side and across the bottom and up this side. And then we're gonna glue this on. Like so. And I'm just gonna put it into my little trimmer. Yes. No, it's not gonna fit. It's too tall. All right, we're gonna square this sucker up with scissors. And glue all of our sides closed again now that I cut them open. There we go. So there's a stack of 4 pockets. 1, 2, 3, 4, made from 1 envelope. Let's do this guy. That looks like a natural point to cut this guy in half. I think again for this one I'm going to do 2 separate pockets. And actually, I'm going to seal the bottom of this one. And leave the side open. And I'm going to do a teeny tiny notch. And actually, I think I'm going to use my notch punch for that. Just so I'm not taking away too much of the beautiful antique ledger. So we've got a side tuck there, and then we're going to add a pocket on the bottom, but not that. Nope, not that. None of these are speaking to me for this guy. Oh no! Got some additional pads off to the side that I'm now spending time futzing with, trying to find something that I like to go with this. And this is, no, that's not the right one. It's the Minty Antique Shop, and so I think I want a different page from here to go with that. Yeep. That's a contender. No. No, that's too busy. I think we're gonna go with this one. The other page also came from this paper pack, but it just wasn't quite working for me. All right, let's flip this over and mark where we need to cut. Where'd my pencil go? And who's surprised that we are hardly going to get... I covered 10 envelopes, and we might get 3 of them done. Yeah, I am a sucker for Minty papers, and I think I'm going to use the notch on this one as well. And I want to do a little bit better job of getting center. And ink. And glue this one on. So, pocket, side tuck. I think I'm going to use that on this one as well. And again, I'm going to do a short pocket just because this is some beautiful antique ledger paper. So why not let it shine? go ahead and use our notch punch again. Now, you could skip this step and not bother putting any kind of notch in your pocket. I like doing it just because it makes it really noticeable that it is a pocket. So, there we go there. And I think for this one, I'm gonna glue the side shut and actually add a little glue over here because our envelope is coming undone a little bit. I'm gonna run a bead of glue down here. And add a little notch up here. And of course, when I glue it on the page, I can glue it on in a way where this is a pocket, and then either I have a side tuck behind the piece or from the top. So yeah, these are very versatile little projects. All right, which one do we want to do next? Kind of want to do this guy. And wow, I did a horrible job trimming that or putting that on. Let me grab my big trimmer and clean that up a little bit. And might as well use it to cut it in half-ish. All right, what do we got here? All right, so we are open like this. But I think what I'm gonna do is turn it that way. Grab a piece of paper, if I can find one. I like the color of that one. Actually, that pad has a more blue tone one in it. Let me grab that. Let's go with this one. I think we're going to put our pocket here. Flip. Ooh, definitely going to be cleaning up little strips of paper off my desk after we're done here. That, and then trim off there. I'm gonna take my circle punch, do a little notch, and put it on like so, because I like the flowers showing. And then what we're gonna do is seal the whole thing up and have this just be, use the envelope as a base. So that's an option too. And I forgot to ink along the top there, so I'm just gonna lift that up and add a little bit of ink along there. Set that one aside, and let's see, how's this guy open? You know what, I kind of like the lace there, so let's do the pocket going this way. Yeah, no, let's see what we got and what we're using for the pocket and decide, because we could go like that, leave it open over like that, and have it be a side tuck. I like that idea. Let's go ahead and do that. And I think with this one, I'm just gonna from it with my scissors. I think we'll get this guy done, and then our timer's gonna go off. Maybe we'll get this guy done. Having second thoughts, I think I might like that side better. Let's go with that side. If my glue would come out. And there's time. So let's just finish this one. So that's open on the side and can be a side tuck. And then we've got a side pocket on there. So let's see what we got done. Not as much as I was hoping for, but anyone who's watched my Mass Make Mondays before knows that that's pretty much par for the course for me and Mass Make Mondays. Ooh. All right. So we've got this one, which has, let me grab something I can use, has a side tuck here and a side tuck here. We've got this one, which is just going to be a pocket like this, or you could put it on the page like this and have it as a pocket like that. Now, granted, depending on how you attach it to the page, you could have another pocket behind or to the side. That's completely up to you. We've got this one that's got the pocket in the front here, and then a pocket. I need to go back and add a little glue there, and a pocket back here. Then we've got pocket and a side tuck, pocket. Then we've got our double layer. So we've got a pocket, a pocket, a pocket, and a pocket back here. And depending, again, how it's attached, I could either have a side tuck over here or a pocket back there. Then we've got this one where we've got a pocket here and a side tuck on this side. And this one, which has a pocket, and we sealed it shut, so we've got, oh no, we didn't, we left it open, so we've got a side tuck over here. So again, the variations on this are endless because you can just do all sorts of configurations, and it's a great way to use up your junk mail envelopes. Because yeah, I got a ton of them. This isn't even putting a dent in the amount of junk mail envelopes I have, but it's yet another idea for ways to use your junk mail envelopes. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting!